I'm so sorry. That went. I don't get to start touching the brake and I just didn't slow down. I'm sorry. That's all good.
Oh shucks, everybody. Welcome to DSI Racing here in the Gen4. We are going to be here at Darlington for round number 4 in this fantastic championship. I'm Edwin. I'll be in the booth here today. I'll be joined by intermittently Mr. Jeff Dinda, who is all the way in Talladega. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing great, sitting here in my car, getting ready to help you out as much as I can.
Love to hear it. And we also got the producer, the one and only Damon O'Brien, bringing you these beautiful visuals and everything that he does amazingly. Now, Darlington is a tricky track, man. It is not your normal intermediate. It is a short intermediate. It's about 1.3 miles long, and it's got 2 different sets of corners at each end, and it runs the high line. Got our starting lineup. We've got Johnny Hamby. He's going to be starting P1 in that number 55. Then Judson Curtis is going to be P2. Brandon Hinton is going to be starting P3 with Hinton Motorsports. And then Todd Perrott, his teammate, right next to him. And we've got Tad Dabney starting by his teammate, Ryan Godfrey, for Beer Run Racing. Then we've got Mark Holloway in the 56 for Rat Fate, and then Ron Hollyfield in the 47. We got another pair of teammates, Brian Souza and Austin Knight, the 60 and 7, bringing out row 5. Chuck Burley, another Rat Fate driver, and then the first TRN driver of the grid, Jonathan Geist in P12. After that, we've got Tyler Waltz, Rat Fate guy, and then Craig Knoll, who I believe is with Heiser Racing. And it's written on the side of his car, so we look forward to seeing those guys come towards the front. We then have Jonathan Medlin, another TRN guy, starting P15, and Thomas Long starting P16. Last up, we've got Dylan Hinton with that beautiful Hinton Motorsports car, and he is going to be bringing up the rear. And then we have, let's make sure, we've got a couple guys who did not qualify, Mr. Jordan Tross, John Crosby, and that's it. Green flag is out. Let's see what we've got going on here. They dive off into the first corner. They're going to have to be as careful as possible. These cars are going to run close to each other. I love the two Tabasco cars sitting in the front right now. That's absolutely hilarious. So far, so good, so clean. Everybody making it through. These cars get very loose on exit of corners, so they have to be careful. But it looks like we're single filing out, so everybody's got a chance to run their lines and hope for the best now.
Yeah, looks like a couple of guys picked up their stripes early on the wall, but as you mentioned, single file. I mean, this is a pretty clean start to what we've been seeing for the past couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, this is the safest way to get around this track right now, is these guys running this single file groove. So they are doing the best they can to preserve their equipment right now. So hopefully all works out as Tad Dabney gets a little bit into the wall. That's about his second time doing that. I see a battle in the back. Jonathan Geist and Chuck Burley are going at it right now. Chuck Burley has poked his nose down there a couple times, but seems to not be able to get the pass done. He's going to try and pull to his inside again, but this is actually holding them up because they're losing time to those leaders. And here comes Jordan Tross behind him. He just overtook the next car, and he's now looking to get to them.
Yeah, Jordan has been pretty dominant in these Gen 4 cars so far this season, so it's going to be interesting. I know a lot of times he's struggling to make the start of the races, and may miss the qualifying there, but would not be surprised to see him make his way up front. Ooh, we have a spin.
It looks like it's the 99 of Christian Clark. He just got rotated just then.
Yeah, single car spin, so we stay green. And, I heard him chatting on the radio there. I'm picking it up from you guys, and, I think he's been a little loose so far.
Now, that definitely wasn't Christian's fault. They were both trying to avoid a slower car and just kind of came together. But Christian has got back moving, so hopefully he gets salvaged tonight. But here we are looking at the replay. As you see, he's just really catching the 60 and goes to go low, but the 63 of Craig Knoll just pulls up there. And that is a rotation right there. I don't know what happened to... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I do not want to give the broadcaster jinx. So far, I mean, I'm impressed with how clean these guys are staying. Of course, we just saw the 99 spin there. Unfortunate for him, but, I'm really impressed how well these guys are handling this somewhat short track.
Now, one car I'm curious about, the 60 machine of Brian Souza. He's missing the front bumper on that thing. Something happened on the first lap with him that has sent him just in the worst direction.
Yeah, and we do get a fast repair tonight, so he's, if he needs to use that, he's going to be hoping for a caution here.
Oh my gosh, he actually got into it with a 7. That caused it. Jordan Tross trying to chase down that 4 machine of Chuck Burley now. As I start moving back towards the front, the 9 and the 6 battling for that P5 position right now. But they've also got the 47 of Hollifield pulling up into that.
Yeah, and unfortunately for me tonight, I am traveling. Max and I, the 48 machine, we have traveled to Talladega to watch the race this weekend, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But I do have dual screens. I have 2 phones here. One, I'm watching the YouTube feed, trying to figure out where the drivers are, and the other one I'm watching live from our producer Damon's broadcast. And Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong here, looks like he's already made it up to P10.
Oh, Christian Clark goes around, and we've got a caution out again. Let's see if we can catch a nice replay of that 99. We're going to go to a quick commercial break before that, and then come back with the excitement.
Thank you, Agent State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cut. Hey, Arnold, I'm hearing neighbor. It's neighbor.
That's what I said. Neighbor.
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 Hey, let's go again.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cut.
Now what?
It's neighbor.
Neighbor!
Cut.
Neighbor.
Yeah, neighbor. Just like it's written on the paper. This lady is in labor!
Cut.
Look at this. This is labor. Like a good neighbor. That was the sheep. And you know it.
It's like you're cold. Brr.
Yeah, I'm cold. Bah. Neighbor.
Still no.
Like a good neighbor.
Cut.
Burr.
Bah.
Burr.
Bah.
Burr.
Bah.
Neighbor.
Neighbor.
Burr.
Bah.
Burr.
Bah! Get me under this chopper.
It's pronounced chopper.
Don't.
It is.
Neighbor! A little bit more concealer.
Hey, Arnold. Got a bit of a script change.
Script change.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mike, I know you think your truck is totally sick, but this is what I think of your precious 4x4 hang out all day with your stupid friend's truck! Push it!
Welcome back as we're back at this wonderful race. Guys are double file again. Both Tabasco vehicles going to be starting at the front again. In our top 10, we are going to have Mr. John Hamby, Judson Curtis, Brandon Hinton, Todd Perrott, Tad Dabney still in the top 5 position, Ryan Godfrey, Ron Hollifield, Mark Holloway, Chuck Burley, and then Jordan Toss has finally cracked the top 10. Good restart there for John Hamby, but it looks like he caught the 55 sleeping because he launched out. Now you got the 5 of Brandon Hinton. He's looking to try and get up there as well. Brandon Hinton's running surprisingly well. He is known for running bottom sides, but Darlington is a straight-up top side track. That's pretty much all you got. So he's having to adapt his driving style right now. Guys are all on top of each other. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. He loves that bottom line. I'm on his team. You know, he talks about it all the time. You know, 9 times out of 10, that's the best place to save tires. But as you mentioned, if you want the speed, you're going to have to adapt. And he's, I wouldn't be surprised to see him making the adjustment.
Yeah, and I think he's doing a real good job at that. And he's made the adjustment necessary right now because he is having a good old time out there. Taking a look back there, looks like we have 2 cars a lap down. It's going to be Christian Clark and Austin Knight, and Christian Clark is currently in the lucky dog position. So if we do get another caution, that's going to help out that number 99.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's it's tough for me to see on my phone. We're as we mentioned, we're in Talladega, and Cheney Highway just jumped on the chat and commented on that. Have fun, guys, at Dega. Brought their son last year, so that it is a special place. And we got a little bit of green run here, so I'm gonna talk a little bit. Max and I came down to watch Tyler Tomasi race. He posted on Facebook a couple months ago. Looking for donations to get your name on the truck. So we have 3 Dinda names on the truck. We came down to watch him race, and he had a little unfortunate incident. Mechanical incident. Did not finish on the lead lap, but love to support a fellow DES driver who actually races NASCAR.
Yeah, even though he had the mechanical failure, he still came home with a completely clean truck. He had no issues out there running. So he did what he needed to do. He, at one point, was up in the top 10. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And this track that we're watching here, Darlington, some of these short. I mean, I think I don't enjoy driving the short tracks as much when we're racing, but I think it'd be a blast to go to one of these short tracks and watch. I mean, just to be able to see the cars the whole way around the track. I mean, obviously we're watching the feed. We get to focus in on people, but as a fan, I think it'd be great to go to one of these shorter tracks.
Yeah, Darlington would be really interesting to see because they're just going to keep hitting the wall the whole time. And I mean, I'm currently watching a 3-way battle right now between Tad Dabney, the 6 machine, and Ryan Godfrey and John Crosby, all teammates. And just look at them. It's a fight to figure out somewhere to go. As Jordan Trost now pulls up to this battle himself. So they're getting down and dirty out there as John Crosby now makes it past his teammate. 6 car pulls up in front of the 79. He's going to try and cover off Jordan Trost. They get real close, pushes him down below the apron, but Jordan's going to find his way past that 6 machine. Never mind. Look at that. Ryan Godfrey battles back on the outside.
Yeah, carried a little extra speed, left his mark on the wall, but he's not going to give up and let Jordan pass him easily.
Yeah, the 73 is his teammate. They work together, so he's not going to risk damaging his teammate's car and his car. But someone else, he can make it harder. He's still not going to risk damaging him, but he's going to make it a little harder. He's actually sailing away from Jordan now. And Tad Dabney and John Crosby are actually catching Hinton and Todd Perot. Ooh, I see a lot of smoke. What was all that?
I think we had a couple of wall rubs there.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of smoke just then. Oh, Craig Knoll is off the track. He went off around lap 23. That's why I saw all that smoke. I wonder what happened to him. He probably sailed it off into the corner and just got loose on exit or something. That would be the only reason I can understand why he would potentially be out of this race.
Yeah, and here we're taking a look at the replay. Looks like he just got loose coming out of the exit there.
Just too much throttle on exit and just snapped it right on around. We've all been there before. Oh, he knocked the wheel off that thing.
Yeah, and I do not remember if he had an incident earlier, if he still has a fast repair.
I don't think he's used his yet, but I do see he has left the race as well. He has called it quits, so he might have used it.
Yeah, and it's tough to say. I mean, he may have required a tow and could have gone, 3 or 4 laps down and just called it a night. Hard to say.
Yeah, it might have just been too big of a mountain to climb back from. One thing I want to bring up is Christian Clark is out there 1 lap down, correct? If he was on the lead lap right now, he'd be in P11, and he is chasing down vehicles in front of him. And we want to take a look at that vehicle too, and we want to just give a big shout out to Aunt Joe, who has battled breast cancer, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we want to say we love you. This is the aunt of Christian Clark. And next week, we are actually going to dedicate the entire race weekend to breast cancer and breast cancer survivors. So look forward to that, everyone, here on DES. Shout out to Christian Clark. Shout out to Aunt Joe. Keep fighting the good fight, and we're happy you're making it through it.
Yeah, that's I'm glad I'm going to be home. It's special. I mean, I don't know of anyone who hasn't had a family member, friend who's experienced cancer, breast cancer especially, and I'll be happy to represent as best as I can that weekend for all the cancer survivors out there.
It's going to be an interesting and wonderful time. So I'm really hopeful on it, and I'm very happy about it. I'm glad Christian Clark made that paint scheme. He has done an amazing job. I was saying these guys are running away from Jordan, making him work for it. We took our eyes off of one of them, and he's passed 2 other machines. He is up to P6, and Brandon Hinton has dropped all the way down to P5. As we got our first taker for green flag pit stops, the 32 is going to be the first car to hit pit road.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if everyone else chases him down pit road, or if we get a couple that stay out, hoping for a caution. What do you think, Edwin?
Based off this run, I think the hope of a caution should be gone. You've got to get down pit road fast, because if tires are strong, which they clearly are showing they are, as everybody's almost a second and a half off their time, you do not want to lose time to people, because that 32 is going to come out and be sailing.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. I mean, 140 laps, 5 total sets of tires. So yeah, it's about time to come in and pit. I know you ran a couple laps. You may have a better idea of what the fuel length is, but as far as tires go, if this is about the time to start coming in.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a good time. These cars, like I said, they're loose on the straightaways and then tight in the corners, so they're a handful. And I think the 32 is actually getting damage repaired, as he is still on pit road. But the 60 car came in for a normal pit stop, and he is now pulling back out onto the track. So I'd keep an eye out on him. He may be a lap down right now, because you do inevitably go a lap or 2 down under green flag pit stops here. But he is going to be coming back. Tyler Waltz has dropped 3 laps down for his pit stop. He's actually been in there for a while himself.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I can understand taking repairs under caution, but it's hard not to use your fast repair under green flag at this point.
Yeah, people are maximizing their repairs right now, and this is interesting. That's helping people like Christian Clark, who's waiting on his chance to get back on the lead lap. And these are just free positions for him right now. You know, while we watch these guys take care of these laps, let's have a nice little crank it up moment, Mr. Producer. Let's look at these people run around this track and hear the noise that they can make. I didn't hear you at all. I'm sorry. And we're back as our leader, the 55, who has led every single lap, has decided to hit pit road. He came out P9. Now you got the 69 in the 5 machine. They're also on pit road. 35 of Judson Curtis is on pit road. Looks like the last car to pit is going to be Jordan Tross, who takes over the lead.
No surprise there. We know how Jordan always seems to be the best at saving both his tires and fuel.
Yeah, but he's going to be distinctively off pace when the rest of these guys come to pit road. As the 23 says he's going to come to pit road. Oh, Jordan has to do some evasive action.
Close call there.
And he is also coming to pit road. Is he going to make it? He seems like he's moving a little too fast.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a close one right there. That was very close. I think he got it slowed down in the nick of time, though. That's going to allow Mr. Hamby to take back the race lead, potentially. He had to get past Christian Clark, who's now back on the lead lap, by the way.
Yeah, and I'll assume for now that he hasn't pitted yet. He probably will here have to shortly. As you mentioned earlier, chances of cautions are light, so he's probably not going to get a lucky break.
Yeah, so he's going to have to keep stretching this, but he's put himself in a very interesting position, though. We are on lap 40, and if he stays running good with good momentum like he is, there is a solid good chance that come towards the end of this race, if it comes down to fuel mileage, he'll be on the lead lap, battling up front. He is driving that number 99 hard, though, I will not lie, as he actually takes over the P2 position, as Judson Curtis is looking to catch him as Hamby takes back the race lead. But look at the distinct difference in tires right now. The 99 just has nothing for the 35 of Judson Curtis. He's just going right on by him like he's sitting still.
And we just had Aunt Joe make a comment on our live chat, and just letting Aunt Joe know we did have a conversation about our race weekend next weekend, supporting breast cancer awareness. Just let her know if she wants to rewind and catch that. She can certainly do so. 10 or 15 minutes ago, Joe.
And just to say to you now, Joe, your nephew is doing amazing. He's running in the P3 position right now. He did have a bit of a issue early on, but he's in the P3 position on a different strategy than the rest of the field. So he's got a real chance to make something happen here off cycle from the rest of the field right now. And we're back. Something with the other cars out here. Something going on between the 47 and the 6 right now. They just came over track Mike, and he said, "Cuz, come on." And the 6 responded with, "I got loose. Chill out." So tempers might be flaring a little bit right there as they're battling hard back there for P10.
Yeah, this could get pretty interesting real quick. We'll see if these guys settle down here a little bit.
Darlington is a track when you're racing somebody hard, there is the chance to get into them, and it's not intentional. It's never going to be intentional. It's just a tough track. The racing surface is about 2.5 lanes wide, so you're pretty much predestined to get into somebody if y'all are battling super hard. As the 6 bounces off the wall, throws it down there, throws a mean block on the 47 just to keep the position. 47 almost gets to his rear bumper. They're door to door.
Oh, this is a great battle.
This is a wild one as the 6 takes the position back. He says, "You're going to stay behind me." Seems like the 47 has better speed through the center of the corner, but that 6 just gets so much momentum on exit. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really interesting to see two different lines, exit speed versus entry speed. No, here we go. The 47's making a move.
I think the 47 said, "I'm tired of this. You are giving me this position." But look how the 6 throws it in there. But 47 is just right where he wants to go, and he has to check up a little bit more. And now the 47 of Ron is going to just pull away from him now. And finally, the 99 Christian Clark is going to take that beautiful machine down pit road. He went a while. Oh, is he going to miss pit road? He gets it woed down in time. He does an excellent job.
Yeah, and it's always a tough one when you're trying to stay out there. You get back on the lead lap, you're hoping for caution, and one just doesn't come out. It's kind of a bummer when it happens on track, but Christian's going to go out there and fight, and he's going to give it his all.
And he's in a good position. But now the 9 and the 47 are now battling again. Oh, the 9 goes around. He snaps it loose and hits the outside wall. And he has hurt that machine bad.
And no caution, so probably a solo spin got it off the track, out of everybody's way.
Look at the replay. Look how close he came to taking out the 47 too. The 47 with an amazing evasive driving snapped it low. That came close.
And we stay green.
.55 is just dominating this race right now. He is not looking back right now. He's got almost a 3-second lead on the next car of Judson Curtis.
Yeah, and look who's made his way all the way back up to position 3. Jordan Tross started in the back of the field, did not qualify, and he's back up into P3.
Yeah, that's pretty superb that he's made it back up there because he is not. It seemed like he's not as quick as the rest of the guys, but he's consistent, and consistency is king. And that's kind of the reason why he has 3 wins on the season. I mean, this is round 5. I know I said earlier it was round 4, but this is round 5, and he has 3 out of the 4 races won. So he does know what he's doing. As Judson and Jordan are actually kind of catching Hamby ever so slightly. They're knocking into that lead.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been an impressive night so far for the 55 machine, Johnny Hamby. as you mentioned, these guys are catching up, but they're still over 2 seconds behind him. So he may be saving just a little bit to let these guys catch him.
Yeah, he's working it though. Hamby has this track figured out. I mean, he started from pole, pretty much hasn't looked back from that position. The only reason anybody else has currently led a lap, it's because of pit cycle. He's actually creeping up on halfway through this race. Lap 71 will be our halfway point.
Yeah, absolutely. Just talking about these guys up front a little bit. Obviously, the 55's been on the pole. He's been leading most of the laps. Justin Curtis, Jordan Tross. We also have the 73 machine of John Crosby in P4. Teammates, the 69 and the 5 machine in 5 and 6. So, I know those guys like to save a little bit. Jordan's normally a saver, but he's had to fight his way up front. So we'll see how this plays out.
Easy for him at all. He's really had to work for every ounce. And then, speaking again through that top 6 that you just mentioned, Hamby doing great, Curtis doing great, Jordan. But I want to say a nice little interesting thing about Brandon Hinton. He started P3 and he's only down 3 positions. He is still fighting for everything he can, but it seems like he just cannot get that thing to hook up for the either entry speed or middle of the corner speed. He's got great exit speed, but it's those 2 areas it seems like that 5 machine is lagging back.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned that, I mean, there's only 2 cars behind him that are still on the lead lap. So there are 8 cars on the lead lap. So one, it shows you how impressive John is running in the 55 car, but 2, just how difficult this track is.
It's been an absolute interesting race, and surprisingly very green too. Not really many issues. We've had a couple self-spins, people spinning solo, like Craig Noel, Tyler Waltz. They've had some issues, but other than that, it's been straight green.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just looking at this, the 8th place is 27 seconds behind the leader. So, he is just, Judson is catching him a little bit. Jordan obviously is closing that gap a little bit, but he is comfortably out front.
Apologize for the late join, but it's good to see these guys are figuring out the lady in black here at Darlington.
Yeah, Hunter, it's been an interesting one. Hamby's had a level of domination that's just we don't normally see from people, but they are really coming to grips with this track. We've had a few close calls, but everybody seems to be able to sort themselves out before an issue actually arises.
I've always found Darlington to be one of the more difficult tracks because of how oddly shaped it is, turns 1 and 2 are the exact polar opposite of turns 3 and 4. So, figuring out how to navigate this track, I'm sure once you kind of figure it out, you got it down, it'll make it a little bit easier. But, every time it's still, especially like when you're looking back here and you're back in traffic, it becomes more difficult as these guys start to go into tire runs and the runs extend because the tires are going to fall off and these guys, it's going to be a completely different track for these guys.
You are 100% right about that. And I went out and turned like 2 or 3 practice laps, and it seemed like the car just wants to snap loose on the straightaways and exits, but in the corners, it just shoves itself up to the wall. So they're battling the elements of the track, battling the other cars around them. And then on top of that, you got to talk about their tire wear, their fuel strategy. The Lady in Black is not an easy track, and to have just 1 caution, that's impressive.
Absolutely. As you look at our leader, Johnny Hamby, in that 55 machine, still holding a 1.2 second gap over second place, Judson Curtis. Jordan Tross back there about a second and a half behind Hamby as these guys are starting to navigate through some hot traffic.
And Jordan Tross and Judson Curtis both have been catching Hamby ever so slightly, but you also can't take away from the fact that Jordan is catching Curtis as well, which is impressive because Jordan has the slightly newer tires. He did go longer on the green flag stretch, but those guys had that time of having fresh tires while he was on old tires to stretch out on him too.
And now that you're back, Hunter, I will reduce my on-air time as I'm sitting in a car at Talladega. I hope to see you here on Sunday, sir.
Absolutely. It's good to hear from you, Jeff. Good to hear everything is going well. Looking back at this race, though, Judson Curtis slashing off some time in those past few laps, brought it down to about 0.7 of a second. He is slowly starting to close that gap to Hamby. Do you think that Curtis is starting to push a little harder?
I think he might be, considering he sees who his rearview mirror is starting to be filled by. But at the same time, oh, that checkup was not good, but those two were able to navigate it properly. But I also think Hamby, he's been just on a tear, consistently running really fast laps. He might be wearing out his material faster than these other two guys are.
You know, you might have to fact check me on this, but I want to say that if Hamby can hold on for these last 60 laps or so, this might be his first DES win. Am I correct?
I believe so. I think it would be his first one. I don't think I've seen Hamby around. I don't know. Has he raced before? I'm not 100% certain.
I'm not either, but honestly, after this dominating performance tonight, it looks like he's right at home. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's an absolute natural out there right now, and he is just laying down time after time, and he is just doing what he needs to do.
As we take a look at the 79 of Jordan Tross making his way through some lap traffic, that's definitely going to cost him just a little bit. I mean, you know, Hamby up there with that clean air, that's got to be beneficial for him. I mean, he's got, you know, a good full straightaway away from his next victim to putting a lap down. But it doesn't look like it's necessarily benefiting Tross that much, as Tross is still having to navigate through the same traffic that he is.
Oh yeah, it's still a heavy fight out there. But one thing I am noticing a little bit about Hamby, if you see him on some of the exits of the corners, he's getting pretty sideways. And that's
massive contact there.
Oh.
The 73 of John Crosby, some massive contact there on the exit of corner. It looks like he's able to corral it, but I guarantee you he's got some pretty significant right front damage as he's hitting the pit road this time by.
Oh yeah, he definitely hurt that machine. That's the thing about Darlington. You can't really do that. You have to keep it off the wall, because that wall will reach out and just absolutely bite you.
You know, they don't call it the Lady in Black for nothing.
To agree, man. I don't know how these guys are out here doing this. I definitely could not be out here turning laps around this track. I would have been out about lap 5.
While these guys are still out here turning some green flag laps, if you're interested in racing with us, you can head on over to racedес.com. We run an LMP3 series on Wednesdays, a GT3 series on Thursdays, the Gen 4 series on Fridays. We're going to run a truck series tomorrow at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, followed by the premier invite-only trucks at Iowa. And then on Sunday, we're going to be running the next-gen cars at Homestead. It's going to be a weekend packed full of some tight, good racing. So if you're interested in racing out here with us or talking with us in the Discord, you can head on over to racedes.com to find the links and the invite codes. We'll looking forward to seeing y'all out there on the track.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's going to be some real interesting racing. Indy is going to be a high-speed drafting style track, but it's going to be single lane at the same time. That's going to be a real fun one. Then turning it over to a short track. So guys are going to have to switch their mindset from that super speedway draft mentality to tire preservation, braking points, and short track racing. And then go over to Homestead, multi-groove, 1.5 mile racing. It's going to be a crazy weekend.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. This will be the first time here in DES that we're running Indianapolis as a official points race in our truck series. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, guys definitely have some experience out there, but to what capacity? As we're looking at our leader, 55 a Hamby under threat from the 79 of Tross. Tross is able to get to that inside, and he will close the door on the exit of turn number 4. And we have a new race leader, the 79, Jordan Tross.
And this time it's not through pit cycle. It's through getting up there and racing for it. But I think Hamby is definitely having some issue with his stuff because Judson Curtis is still catching him. It's still getting closer and closer.
Yeah, that last time by, I mean, once Tross made the pass, Hamby is now almost a second back. So do you think Tross is just pushing really hard, or do you think Hamby's equipment might be falling off?
I think it's equipment fall off because all this race, Jordan has been making passes, but they've taken him some time. So he's really mastered the craft so far through this race of racing through traffic, but not really blazing down, setting fast, quick laps. As Hamby actually dives to pit road, he has decided that those tires are gone and it's time to get a fresh set.
It's interesting to see the line choice from our leaders as these tire runs start to go on. As you're looking at Tross taking that very bottom line through the top line through 1 and 2, and then running kind of a middle, almost diamond in 3 and 4. So I mean, as you guys see this run starts to go on, you see that their lines start to change, and I wonder if that has any effect to how progressive the tire wear is here tonight.
Yeah, it might. I think it definitely does play into it because you can't just shove the car straight to the bottom here because that's going to cause you some more tire wear trying to force it to turn. And you definitely can't ride the wall around here around all the corners too because of the weird shape of 3 and 4. So they definitely got to adapt and overcome, change the way they're doing things and just kind of figure it out. But it's definitely been a tough one out there for them.
As we are now lap 90 of 140 complete. We have about 50 laps remaining. You got Jordan Tross still up here in the lead. Judson Curtis fallen back to a 2.1 second deficit. Behind him, the 69 of Todd Perrott and the 5 of Brandon Hinton, both sitting roughly 14 seconds behind your race leader. And then you got Hollifield running back in 5th in that 47 machine.
Yeah, it's been interesting because they definitely still have one pit stop left. Do you think it's going to benefit Hamby undercutting them on the pit strategy right now? Do you think he's going to have a better chance at getting back to the front and maintaining that lead?
So, I mean, let's look at it from the other way around. Looking at our last, when Tross got past Hamby, Hamby's equipment was pretty much toast. You saw how quickly Tross was able to catch him. So, if I were in the behind the wheel of that 79 machine, my biggest thing would be I want to make sure that I have enough tire to push as hard as I possibly can as the 79 gets around the 9 up there in the wall. But he wants to save his equipment. He wants to make sure that he has enough there at the end. So if he pits close to the same cycle, I don't think you're going to see that big of a deficit. But if, Tross waits another 15 laps or so compared to 20 lap to fresh tires, I think he's going to have a significant advantage.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. I do like how you said all that. And then as we've got also the 35 hitting the pit road now. So those are your biggest competitors right now is 79, 35, and 55. And the only one to not pit yet is that 79. But I do want to make something known that happened earlier. Oh, 79 in pit road now. I want to make this known from earlier. You said you want to make sure you have the most tires at the end, right? Christian Clark, when the whole pit cycle happened last time, was able to run almost 20 laps extra because he's on a very different cycle. He was caught up in an incident by himself. He's 2 laps down now, but he's going to probably get both those back here. And if he does that change your mindset as one of those top 3 guys? Because he's going to end up in front if he gets both those laps back right now.
I don't think he's necessarily going to get both laps back. Basing off the current pit cycles, it looks like the guys are going about 1 lap down. So he may get 1 lap back, as he just did, if he's able to hold on to that momentum. However, I mean, talking about the end of the race and, your guys are your contenders, I don't think we should count out Mr. Consistency running back there in second, about to take this lead.
Well, Mr. Consistency is on pit road now, so he kind of cost himself that lead chance right there, but I'm very curious to see what happens now. I am. I want to see how this pit cycle plays out. I want to see where they go from here, because either it's hard charging time or it's preserve time. Make sure you make it to the end.
It's definitely in preservation mode, but I guess that all depends on whose car you're driving. You're in the 79 Atross. Your biggest factor is you want to save to the end to see, who has anything for you and make sure you have something left. But if you're in behind the wheel of that 55 machine, which is now sitting about half a second back from Tross, who has regained the lead, I mean, it's kind of you want to start ticking down those tenths.
Now, I want to point out something interesting. Those guys have all pitted. They cycled through. Tross back to the lead. Hamby in P2. Curtis in P3. Christian Clark did get both laps back. He is back on the lead lap. So if for some reason, if a caution came out, I think he will be in the best place to get to the front and make a threat to these top three.
I mean, it's definitely a Hail Mary sort of strategy right there, because so you're relying on a caution. If he gets that caution, he needs to make sure that these leaders, these guys that are up here running in your top five, have enough laps on their tires that it is worth it for them to come down and grab new ones, which would put them on the same cycle.
Which is going to be tough. He's going to need that caution to happen very, very soon, because he is on the same straightaway as Jordan Tross.
It looks like Tross has now extended his gap by another second. 55 of Hamby sitting back about a second and a half behind Tross, as we have a few more takers there on pit road.
Yeah, this has turned out to be an interesting strategy race. I thought this would be a war of attrition out here, but it's actually a totally different battle. Some of these guys probably came into this race going, oh, this is going to be a caution fest, and now they're having to adapt on the fly to the fact that it is not. It is a long run race.
And I mean, thus far, we've had one caution this entire race. So, I mean, to be honest, hats off to these guys. Darlington is not an easy track to figure out by any means, as Christian Clark succeeds one lap to 79 of Jordan Tross. He gets a little loose there off the exit of turns 1 and 2 and has to give up that lap. So he is currently sitting in our lucky dog position.
But he's under threat for it, because the next one lap down car, Ron Hollifield, is on the same straightaway. He is in the same corner as him, so he is catching up to him.
Hollifield, another new name here into DES. It's good.
I think something might have happened to our co-host here, Hunter. But as he was saying, Hollifield, another newcomer to DES, and he's out here running great. He started 8th, is currently 8th. So he's having a good run out there for himself. Normally you see people heading backwards or heading in opposite directions, but he is in 8th, and he is under no threat of dropping to 9th, as the person in 9th is right in front of him.
And I could jump in a little bit here while Hunter probably had some more internet issues. The 55 machine has run a couple of races with us, but he's only run short track. So I think I don't like short tracks, and I think he really loves them, and he's showing it here.
Yeah, Darlington's one of those interesting tracks. I like to say Darlington is in the same group as stuff like Iowa, Michigan, Gateway, Nashville, stuff that's not a mile and a half, but not quite a half mile either. It's in that short intermediate kind of range. And they are having a blast out here. Hamby is having a great time as Christian Clark is now under threat from the 47. The 47 is going to go around him as the 99 brushes off the wall. Jordan Tross is just stretching his legs on the rest of the field. He has almost 3 seconds on Hamby. It's at 2.6 right now, and he is just really getting at it. This is why Jordan Tross is constantly a threat for the wins. The way that he runs these races, he is just very methodical in what he does.
Yeah, and the amazing thing about that is, remember, he didn't qualify. So, I mean, he started from the back, and he is just putting on a show here tonight. And 6 cars currently on the lead lap. Jordan Tross, Johnny Hamby, Justin Curtis, Chuck Burley, Brandon Hinton, and Todd Perron rounding out the top 6 cars that are on the lead lap.
Yeah, only 6 cars on the lead lap is kind of crazy. You expect a lot more people to be on the lead lap for a track like this, but they have definitely spread themselves out all over the place.
Yeah, and again, hats off to the guys. I mean, 1 caution thrown early in the race. This is an impressive performance by all the drivers tonight.
Yeah, no matter where you finish in this race, you have definitely earned it, and you have something to brag about. You conquered this race, were able to make it to the finish. Doesn't matter if you're a couple laps down or not. You did something great. As we've got more cars kind of just on pit road broken. All the way down to P11 is still on track, but P12, Dylan Hinton, he's on pit road broken. Tad Dabney's on pit road broken. The 4 car, Chuck Burley, just got done with a pit stop, and he's headed back out. He's in that lap down group currently right now. So it's an interesting one right now. They're starting to get knocked off, man. This track will have a way of eating you up.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, there's been a couple of views there. We could see how that wall just juts out. You're exiting that corner, and man, it just catches a lot of people off guard.
Yeah, you really don't have much of a chance to fight it. Once it happens, it kind of just happens, and you're just kind of in that boat, and you've got to go with it. As Christian Clark also hits pit road, Chuck Burley, Brian Sousa, they're all now 2 laps down.
Yeah, 5 cars on the lead lap. I mean, impressive performance by our leaders, and impressive performance by everyone for keeping this a clean race.
I think Jordan's got the pace to where he could, if he keeps going how he's going, he'll get P5 and P4 a lap down as well, because they're only 3 seconds separated, but they're almost a full lap behind Jordan Tross as the 69 Todd Perron crosses the start-finish line now. Jordan Tross is on exit of turn 4 now.
Who do we have there in the wall?
Ooh, what did he look like?
Right there. Seeing him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's one of those machines with that's Hamby. Hamby into the wall. See if we get a replay of Mr. Hamby and what happened there.
He's completely missing his front end.
He seems to be running fine right here through the corner. Coming along to the back straightaway. Oh, the 4 car gets into him. Hamby lifts because he gets a little squirrely, and the 4 car just seemed like he didn't have enough time and ran straight into the back of him and rotated him right around. And that's Hamby. Hamby has said, that's my race over, and is out of this race. He has climbed from that 55 to Basco hot sauce. So now we're down to 4 machines on lead lap.
Wow, I mean, unfortunate night for him. He was running really strong up there.
A very dominant performance from him all day. Just to have it gone like that, that's going to be a killer. But with him being out of the race now, he's potentially going to drop all the way down to around P16, maybe even P17. Well, actually, no, those guys are not in the race either themselves. So he has a chance to drop down to about P10.
Interesting, because I don't remember seeing him come in and use his fast repair, but he may have earlier in the race.
Or frustration could have been him. He could have been really upset. He was probably getting a little frustrated at the fact that he led so much of this race just to be unable to catch the new race leader. But that's how racing evolves. You could be fast all night long, but somebody could just become faster throughout that race.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just unfortunate. It's definitely a killer for him, as he has dropped all the way down to P10. And he is under threat to lose position to a couple more cars, as they have now gone back on track. Thomas Long and Dylan Hinton are on track, so there he might drop all the way down to P12.
Man, and Jordan is just, I mean, that lead is incredible right now. I mean, it's, you know, unless something happens to shake this up, I mean, this is just, he's dominating right now.
Yeah, essentially they've kind of made their beds right now. All it is staying as consistent as possible and making it to the finish right now. As we've seen, Hamby is a prime example of this. Things could change at a drop of a dime.
So what do you think, Edwin? I mean, does Jordan have enough to make it to the end, or are we going to have another quick stop to top off for fuel?
I think he's got enough to make it. He's pretty good at managing his stuff. I think what he's going to do, he's going to bide his time. He might back off a bit, too. He's got a massive lead, so he's got a lot of leeway time to where he can back off that car, save more throttle, save more fuel, and just make it to the end. I mean, he's at 20 laps to go, so it's not that much longer.
Yeah, great point. And with well over 10 seconds of a lead, he can rein it back quite a bit if he needs to.
And I think he actually is, because he is kind of just smooth sailing, not really catching the 56 in front of him or anything either.
Yeah, 4 cars on the lead lap. Jordan Trost, Justin Curtis, Brandon Hinton, and Todd Perron are our only 4 cars on the lead lap right now.
And the thing is Todd Perron's right in front of Jordan. If Jordan was still pushing, he probably would get to him, but as of right now, he's just kind of riding behind these guys as the 56 gets loose and snaps it off the track. But he's good, doesn't hit the wall, keeps running. Hamby has officially fallen outside the top 10. He is now listed as P11. And you know, that's kind of why you got to stay around, even if the race is not going the way you want to. Look at how positions are changing. Christian Clark could have left after that incident very early on in the race. He started 21st, has been running towards the back all race long. But look at him. He's about to come home with a top 10 finish right now. That's an impressive comeback from 21st to 8th. And then Jordan Cross 18th to 1st as well. So there are two biggest movers of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the 55, I mean, he's not running all of our races. He seems to be running the short tracks only, and this could have been a I'm going to fight for a podium, and if I can't, I'm just going to shut it down for the night. Which for the guys running for points is great because they're going to gain some positions with him dropping out.
Oh yeah, that frees up some space right there. Frees up some numbers for them. So people are going to be looking at everything they could potentially do right now. And speaking of points for the Gen4s, you do have Jordan Tross leading the way. Todd Perrant is second in points, and he's out there running P4. Max Dinda is in P3, but, he's in Dago with you. And then someone like Albert Williams didn't even show up today. So he's going to be a change of positions. They are all really close to each other in points. Heck, the entire top 13 are only separated by 28 points. So there's going to be a lot of swings right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just for everyone's awareness, when we ran points this week, we started adding drops. So, for guys who already have 2 drops, if they miss another race, their drop in points is going to be significant. This won't really be a detriment to me being here this weekend because I have some, races in the bag. So I'll get some of those point backs, even though I'm not racing to them.
Yeah, that's a smart move. Even if the race turns out bad, still showing up helps so much because now when you do get a drop for a race you miss or one that you run even worse, you're going to be sitting pretty. And I mean, I know all about drops. I run for Truck Series points, and I've only made 3 out of the 5 races due to other things. And thanks to my drops, I'm sitting P9 in points. So it does matter, and it helps.
Absolutely. Yeah, and hats off to the guys who are had a bad night, but they're staying on track. And now that the 55 dropped out, those guys who are fighting, I mean, they're gaining positions on their own, and they just gained an extra position from him dropping out of the race.
Yeah, it's moving them up right now. It's really changing the way the race goes for them guys right now. And you are correct, man. The fact that you have drops is going to help you a lot because you're sitting P3 in points, sir. In the trucks, that is.
Yeah, and we had some guys comment in Discord this week, hey, why did I lose some points? But, I run, I keep track of points myself just independently, but, if you didn't have drops, I'd be in a different spot because we added drops. It kind of changes things. But as the season goes on and more guys have drops, and you exceed 2, and you're really killing yourself. So 2's kind of the magic number for drops.
Yeah, right where I'm at. So I'm having an awful start to the season, but hopefully I can turn it around tomorrow. Or Jeff, are you going to be watching the races tomorrow as well, like you've been watching this one?
Yeah, well, the Friday and Saturday races are early, so we will probably be home early. Sunday, I probably will not get to watch, but we'll be rooting for you. And 79, yeah.
Todd does not want to go a lap down. He wants to finish this race on the lead lap, and he is making Jordan work for it right now, which is actually allowing Christian Clark to catch up.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, just Todd is even if he falls behind Jordan, he still has that lucky dog spot, but he does not want to give up this spot on the lead lap.
And technically what Todd's doing, there's nothing wrong with it. And I